Hello everybody, welcome to the second video or the second part of the series of tutorials for the Chevening interview questions and the guide which I'm going to give you step by step on the process, step by step explaining the questions and the answers. So let's dive into the second part of our series. Here you see questions on leadership and influence essay. I directly jump to the questions. I want to take you step by step to the process. What are the questions and how you're going to, or you should actually answer them. So before everything else, I would like to give a little bit of explanations, and what I'm going to do, I would like to explain that you will see very soon this screen as you see right now. And on my right, I don't know if it's on your right or left, you can see there's leadership and influence. That is my essay that I wrote, and you have seen it, how I wrote it step by step for the Chevening Scholarship Program. I am going to give all the answers that is possibly going to be asked from you based on the essay, and I'm going to tell you the questions that was asked from me based on my essay in the Chevening scholarship interview. So this is going to help you get all the questions and answers based on my experience, which I participated for 2 years. I hope it helps you. Stick with me until the end of this video, and I am pretty sure that you are going to win the Chevening Scholarship Program, and you should be ready for now. So I jump back to the descriptions we have here before we go into the details of the essay. So the first thing you need to do when it comes to your interview on the questions regarding the leadership and influence is that the questions, most of the questions or anything that you see, it will be mainly on your submitted essay, and the answers should be mainly on your submitted essay. If you have watched the first video in this series of tutorials, I have talked about some general questions that we will talk at the last parts of these videos tutorials. Maybe video 8 or 9 or 10 is going to be about that, but for now let's just concentrate on our CV and on our essays and achievements and application. So the second thing you need to be careful about your leadership and influence essay, the same way that you have written, it should be in active voice. I hope you know what I mean by active voice, what I mean by active and passive. So for now, when I say about active voices, try to talk about the things that you were personally involved, about your leadership. When you talk about something, don't say my organization did something, the company that I worked did these achievements, we did these things at our company. It's not about we, it's about you. It's about you doing some very great active things. By active voice, different Cheveners, they will give you different opinions. I respect them all. Everyone has different experiences, and the goal of this channel overall is to share my experience. I don't say, and I don't want to, this is a disclaimer which you will also read it in the description of every video, that I am not representing the Chevening Secretariat or the Chevening Scholarship Program. This is not an official channel representing Chevening. I am just sharing my experiences. Okay, and the third thing, it should be anything you want to say in your interview, the questions that you're going to be asked and you answer them, it should be coherent. I will later on show you my essay, that how I have answered my questions coherently and related to my own things. I just didn't add extra information from outside. Focus on key leadership and influence achievements. So when you answer your questions, when you are asked about what is your leadership, what's your influential experiences and things that you have done, you always have to focus on key leadership and influence achievements. Of course, you might have hundreds of examples to give, but the one that is the most relevant to your field of study and to your courses that you want to study and to your job, to your volunteer work or your past and your future career, which we will give examples. And always give examples. It is very, very important to give examples. Don't say I have a lot of leadership and influential skills. this is not an example, this is just a claim. And then you have to support this claim by giving, for example, okay, then we will go to the essay and we will read it from there. What brings you to you in the future? And try to pinpoint in a way what kind of leadership and influential skills that you have had. What does it bring to you in the future, especially once you go to the UK, you learn something and then you return back to your country. So for now, I want to go to, okay, the essay, the leadership and influence. This is my essay. As you can see, I am pretty sure that you have watched my videos writing this essay step by step. If you haven't watched, I hope the link is in the description below. If not, the link is up here, there, and you can see how I have written this together. Okay, so I'm trying to be very quick because I don't want the videos to be long. So as you can see in this essay, I have started by saying that I started when I was 15 years old, studying and working voluntarily in a community council in Kabul, and I was, managing extracurricular activities like sports and these things. So the first question that was asked from me was, talk about this, leadership skills that you got from that time. What was your first leadership skills when you were 15 years old that you still have it and you are proud of it? Okay. And then I had to, know what is the question before the interview. And then I gave my examples. Okay. When I was working at the curricular activities, one of my main experiences that I remember is, I'm not giving you the shortest answer, I'm just giving you an explanation, and the reason is not to show what I did. I want you to find answers as well. I said because at that time I learned to have creativity. If I have creativity in leadership, if I come up with good ideas, I can, my ideas can influence others to listen to me, to accept me as a leader, because I was making events, I was managing seminars and workshops, and others were listening to me, I was leading them. That is a good example that made me, and I started this leadership skills from leading a group of only 6 students to today that, as you can see in my essay, I have an organization that I have over 5,000 registered members in my organization. If I take an event, I can influence 5,000 people. So to go on, I want to be very quick, okay? I was one of the volunteers teaching girls. Okay, I talk about that, and inspired by that, I founded Roshna Social Organization in August 2015. You say in my, if you come back above here, you can see that I say related and coherent. When I say in my answer, you saw I said about learning things and then doing something. Even today that I have an organization of 5,000 people. This is how I relate things, and you need to keep, give a connection between your answers and every part of your essay. The next question was, how did you, one person, founded an organization? And what is the goal of your organization? What's the mission of your organization? What's the vision and mission of your organization? The core values. So I'm telling you, respective applicants, if you have founded an organization, a social community, a book club, a volunteer community, a debate club, a speech club, you do something for your community. Be prepared. If you are the director, the owner of a company, if you have a company, you do something. It doesn't have to be volunteer. If you are the, if you have made like, a company that you build houses. If you have a hospital, you build a hospital, your clinic, a shop, a business. Be prepared to know what's the vision, what's the mission, what are the core values, because this was asked to me. What year and which date did you founded it? Why? What inspired you? So these are the other questions that you will be, bombarded one by one. Why I was asked about my social organization, not just because of my essay was before them, because I said that, okay, my leadership started when I was 15, and then I founded an organization and I can lead 5,000. Okay, stop. What organization? Roshna. Tell me the vision. Tell me the vision and the mission. This is, most of the time, be careful the questions will pop up based on your own answers as well. Because they have a series of questions, they have a template, which I think nobody has access to that template. So they have some questions, but sometimes they will ask questions based on what you say. So be careful. If you say something that is not in your essays, it will consume your time. It will take you to another place. So try to avoid telling something that you don't have enough information and you're not prepared for it. So, and then I said in my essay that I have talked that I have over plus 18 employees who are working voluntarily for me, and at that time they were working voluntarily, and I launched this MUN, ICC, and peace. Okay, at that time there was no peace, and also family law moot court competitions. Okay, and then once they asked me about why, what are the core values of the social organization, okay, what have you done in your social organization? Then I had to say, well, I had this achievement. I had, started this organization, this activity. I launched this platform. What are these platforms doing? Okay, then I had to give examples of each project. But I was trying to be smart by talking about the projects. I want you to do the same thing. I don't want you, I just tell you whatever you want to do, whatever you think it fits you well. Because we had so many small and big projects, I didn't want to talk because we did this a small project for 2 days, for 1 month. We had one big platform, it was like ICC moot court competition. And I was putting like maybe 40 to 50% of my social organization's capacity was engaged in this ICC platform. So I normally only talked about ICC. The reason was, first of all, I had enough information about this. Any kind of question they asked me, I was answering them. I said, well, I launched ICC in 2016 and then 2017, and immediately they asked me, what is this? And I said, it's a moot court competition between universities. And they asked me, how many universities participated? I said, well, 10 or 6, I think. And then, which universities? The reason why they were going too deep into one specific question that I just said, I launched this, I believe it was they were making sure that if you claim that you have established such a thing at national level in your country, they wanted to make sure, was it really you or you were just faking it? Because if you say, or if I would have faked that I launched this platform and they would ask me how many universities participated, I would roll my eyes, 10, and then which universities, and then I don't know, because I was lying. And the good thing was I emphasized on that because I had enough information and I could easily give it, and it was a very important achievement. So that is what I want you to think about, one of your biggest achievements. I also put it above in the PowerPoint that focus on key leadership and influence achievements. Because in these platforms, I had a lot of leadership and influential involvement, skills, and things that I did and things that were very important for me. And there we go. I talked about I have participated in ICC moot and also William C. Viss International Commercial Arbitration moot, because I was studying commercial law, and this moot court competition in Hong Kong was also about the commercial law. So I was very proud of it, and I wrote that I was ranked 11th among 220 participants in Hong Kong from 127 universities across the world. And they asked me about this question, talk about this moot court competition in Hong Kong. How did you rank 11th among all of them? And I had to give some explanations about the moot, how I did it. So if you write such a thing, or if you have written or I've wrote such a thing in your essays, be prepared to give answers and justifications, how, when, why, and among how many people. And then in the last part of my essay, as you can see, I talked about my current work, for following my success, like the CLDP, this organization recruited me to work at one of the places. Let me scroll this for you in conclusion. Okay, this is it. I work at this place and I am the deputy director now at the Afghanistan Center for Commercial Dispute Resolution. I was working at that time, and then they were asking me questions about my professional job, which I work for the government or public and private sector, and also my social work for the people. So I said, well, I am working at this governmental office. I am the deputy director. I am the second person in this country. I am leading a team of like employees in different departments, and I had to talk about my task at the government level as well. I had to give examples like, well, how I am leading. They were asking me not like questions to describe what is leadership, but they were telling me, you are working as the deputy director. So for you in your organization, what is the best qualities for leadership at your position? They don't want you to give description of what's management, what's administration, what's law, what is business. No, but they are asking you specifically like what are the required leadership skills at your position at the Afghanistan Center for Commercial Dispute Resolution. And then I was explaining, well, for me, leadership means this, because I am doing this. And for my social organization, leadership and influence is totally in another capacity. So what's the difference between your leadership skills at your social organization and at your volunteer work and at your professional work? And then I said, in my professional work, people are working, they are paid, and everybody is paid. I don't use some of those techniques that I use at my social organization, because people work, it's just the deadlines. Everybody has to, work it. If someone doesn't do it, the leadership, based on my leadership skills, I know how to influence them to do it and punish them. And at my social organization, people are working voluntary. So leadership and influence at my social organization is totally different. I cannot punish people because people are working voluntarily. They are giving their time for free without any payment, their resources, their everything. So my leadership and influence is mostly based on my networking, my character, how I influence people, how I persuade people to work for free, to give their time, to give their resources for these social platforms that we have, to campaign for social awareness, for legal rights, for fundamental rights, for constitutional rights. So these are the things that you are going to be mostly asked based on your essays. So I hope this does not confuse you. These are not the only questions, but this series, we start with our essay and then we go to other questions that we have that we are going to see one by one that is going to be asked, which is not in your essays. So the other questions that is going to be based on your current profession, be careful that you will be asked about your time management, how you manage your time. For me, this was asked a couple of times because I work for government, I work for my social organization, I was studying at the same time, and yes, I was having my social life. So I was asked a lot of questions about time management, how to manage my time, that I work a full-time, I work a part-time at my social organization for free, giving my time for my people, and then I'm studying as well, learning another language, and beside everything, I'm also having my social life, meeting with my friends, my family, and everything. So these questions, if you are talking about several works and activities, be careful to prepare yourself to explain your timeline and a timetable, how you manage your daily time. When you're talking, although you're talking about leadership and influence, you will be asked different questions based on your, answers. I hope this video had helped you so far. There are more questions, but I want to stop it here and talk. We will go to the next video, to the third video. That's going to be on the third essay, which is the networking essay. We cover as many of the questions as possible, and I hope we can cover it in a less time. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please like and subscribe before you go to the next video. See you in the next video. Bye for now.